Hello, good day, everyone. And my name is Dinesh, and I will be beginning our forum discussion for our group. So, our topic today that we will be discussing is blended learning versus traditional learning. So, education has undergone significant transformation in the 21st century, particularly with the rapid advancement of digital technology. Classrooms today are no longer the same physical space alone, there's a lot of virtual and digital, so a lot of learning comes or occurs through online platforms, digital tools, and interactive media. This shift has accelerated even further following the COVID-19 pandemic when everybody was just stuck at home and they cannot go to schools. So it forced schools and universities worldwide to rethink how education can continue beyond traditional classroom settings. In both Malaysia and globally, educational institutions are now exploring ways to integrate technology into teaching, and learning processes to better prepare students. As a result, two major approaches has become central to discussions in the modern education space, that is traditional learning and blended learning. Traditional learning refers to the conventional face-to-face mode of instruction where teaching takes place in the physical classroom. This model is typically teacher-centered with structured schedules, fixed timetables, and direct interactions between teachers and students. It has been the dominant method of education for decades and continues to play an essential role in building foundational knowledge, discipline, and social interactions among students. In contrast, blended learning combines face to face instructions with online or digital learning experiences. Students may attend physical classes while also engaging with learning management systems, record lectures online, discussion, and digital assessments. This approach aims to provide flexibility, personalization, and access to a wider range of learning resources. Comparing these two models is particularly important today because education systems are navigating a period of digital transformation. Schools must balance the strength of traditional classrooms with the opportunities offered by technology and even AI. In Malaysia, innovative initiatives to promote digital education highlights the need to understand how these approaches can best support diverse learners across urban and rural settings. Furthermore, students today require not only academic knowledge but also digital literacy, self-learning skills, and of course, adaptability. Understanding the differences between traditional and blended learning helps educators design effective learning environments that meet these evolving needs. Therefore, in this discussion, we will examine the strengths and challenges of both traditional and blended learning, compare their effectiveness, and explore how they can be integrated. Okay, so I'll send your way to my colleague, and he or she will present their points, and hopefully, we'll have a very good discussion for today's topic.
Hi everyone, my name is Muhammad Riza Fazli. Today I will share about traditional learning, strength and the challenge. I will explain about traditional learning overview. Okay, for this part, I will explain about the traditional learning. Traditional learning is a face-to-face teaching method where students and teachers meet in a physical classroom, and it follows a fixed timetable and structured syllabus. So this is method has been used for many years in school and university. Even though the technology is growing, traditional learning is still widely used and play an important role in education. Okay, we look at the strength of traditional learning. So the traditional learning has several strengths. The first, there is a direct interactions between teachers and student also can ask question immediately and receive instant feedback. And teacher also can see student reaction and understand whether they are following the lesson. And the second one is it builds a strong relationship between teachers and student. And also the classroom environment also create discipline and routine. So the student can also learn to be punctual and responsible. Beside that, traditional learning helps students develop communication and social skill through group discussion and activities. So everyone receive the same lesson and guidance, which to ensure fairness in the learning. Okay, next we look at the challenge of traditional learning. Okay, however, the traditional learning also have some challenges. One major challenge is a limited flexibility. So the student must attend class at a fixed time and place. If they miss the class, it can be difficult to catch up. Another issue is a one size fits all teaching approach. So not all students learn in the same way, but the lesson is usually delivered in one method. So the traditional learning can also focus too much on exam and memorization. So this may limit creativity and critical thinking of the student. So therefore, while the traditional learning has many strengths, it also need improvement to meet modern education need. Thank you.
So hi everyone, my name is Laila and my part 4 of this discussion is about blended learning. So focusing on its strengths and challenge. So blended learning is a teaching approach that combine online tools with a traditional face-to-face instruction. So it's a create a flexibly student-centered learning environment where students can access material digital while still instructing with their teachers in the classroom. So let's start with the strength first. So blended learning allows students to learn at their own pace, which give the flexibility to review lesson whenever needs. Second is students have access to a verified of online resources such as video, quiz, and reading, which makes learning more interactive and engaging. That this approach encourage independent learning and self-discipline. So help students take responsibility for their own progress. So it's also support device learning needs, allowing teachers to cater to students with different ability and learning styles. So lastly, blended learning enhance digital literacy, which is essential skill to the educations in work environment. So however, blended learning also come with the challenge. Student needs a high self-motivations to complete online tasks, which can be difficult for some learners. There is also digital divide, meaning not all students have equal access to device or stable internet connections. So teacher must have adequate technology skill to implement blended learning effectively. So another challenge is that it can reduce face-to-face interactions, which may affect student engagement if not managed careful. So finally, there is a risk of distractions from online tools, so guidance and structure are important to keep student focused. In summary, blended learning provides a flexible, engaging, and student-centered approach to education, but it requires motivations, access, and proper guidance to be effective lah. So when implemented through fully, it can significantly enhance learning experience for both student and teacher.
Hi everyone, I'm Kalisha Sabavati. Today I want to talk about the comparative analysis, which is traditional and blended learning. Traditional learning will be normal learning from those generation until now, but blended learning is a today's is a new schools can be said as new schools learning, which was help students and teachers as well to upgrade their own systems. First of all, first element of the comparative analysis will be a engagement, which is between teachers and students. If we take as a traditional element, the one as a teacher-centered, passive learning, and limited interaction between teachers and students. If it's come to a blended, it can be anytime, anywhere access, which is students can communicate with teachers through their phone, email, or social medias to get engaged with them, and it inclusive for diverse learning as well. Second will be accessibility. Accessibility in a traditional way, it might be a learning limited to a physical classroom only. When we take a physical classroom, it might be we have to go to the classroom and face the teachers face to face and have to and get the learning things from them. If it's a blended thing, it can be anytime, anywhere access, which means we can do that through the Google Classroom, Google Meet, Zoom. So we can engage the accessibility between teachers and students can be in a gadgets, social medias, and this thing can be accessed anytime, anywhere accessibility. And the third thing will be a teacher role. Teacher role, if it's come to a traditional thing, they might be a main knowledge provider which they have to provide all the things, papers, modules to the students. In fact, face to face, they have to give everything, and then students might take everything by their, everything from teachers. But if it's come to a blended learning, they become a facilitator or mentor or a guider, where they have to say something, they have to give the topic, and the students can get that from the Google itself or ChatGPT or any other AI tools. So this is can helpful for the students, where they can have a more knowledge from the Google or the gadgets. Yes. And the last thing is students' responsibility. In a traditional way, we can see as a dependent and a passive learners, where they have to depend on teachers, whatever the modules they give or the textbook, or the exercise which given by the teachers, they have to follow up with that. If it's become a blended, they can be a independent, where they have to search themselves in Google or AI tools, as just now I mentioned just now, AI tools, right? But ChatGPT can be any AI tools, which they will give the information before they go to the studies or the particular subjects. So this can make them more independent than go to the teachers and keep asking the questions. Rather than that, they can have everything on their own by having this kind of things. Thank you. Examples, we can take two universities for the example. As per my slide, I can take first National University of Singapore as a blended learning staff, which lecturers are all engaged with their students through online with a flexible time, and have a quality education with together with them, which they don't have to be in go to the classroom and engage with the teachers or get the modules from them. Whatever they want to give, they can send it in a Google Classroom, so people can students can access from that, can learn the modules and send it through the Google Classroom itself. So this might help students and teachers to engage with each other in their Google platforms, which is Google Meet, as I said just now, and Google Classroom. And the second university will be the University of Malaya. We can take as a traditional learning. Why? Because we have to go to the classroom and have to meet our professors, lecturers, or teachers. So we also get the teaching from the lecturers from the classroom itself. So we have to engage with them through face to face, and whatever the exercises and modules they given by the teachers will be the face to face, and the engagement will be the physical engagement will be a traditional method in National University of Malaya. We also have the example of COVID, which is a very big pandemic, makes every students, the whole Malaysia sit in the house and engage with the teachers, where every students have to communicate with their teachers through the Google Meet, and teachers can send all the things in a Google Classroom, where students have to access from there, and send it after done that, can send it through that itself. So where these things begin is, we can say, as a COVID pandemic, for the two students and teachers, where they can find a new digital way to engage themselves. This might be a good examples where I can give for the digital and blended learning and a traditional learning. If you ask for the future direction, we also have for the future direction, the blended learning as a sustainable long-term model, because digital learning is a future direction key, which going to be a huge thing for every students going to be in a digital learning, but it not going to be everything. Still have the traditional learning, but yet the digital learning will be a major part, will play as a major role in everyone's life. And it will be a strong need for teachers training, so that teacher can be more supportive, can be more engaged with the students through the digital stuff. It will balance the integration, but not total the digital platform. It will have traditional things, but yet the major will be the digital platforms. Thank you.
And hello, I'm back. So I will be concluding and just conclusion and highlighting some key takeaways from everyone's point. So it was a very good discussion, very good points raised by my fellow colleagues, and right, time for the conclusion. So, in conclusion, both methods play vital roles in contemporary education. Traditional learning offers structured discipline and direct human interaction that supports immediate feedback and strong teacher student relationships. It provides a stable environment that many learners still depend on, particularly for developing social skills and maintaining routine. Blended learning, on the other hand, introduces flexibility, accessibility, and opportunities for personalized learning. By integrating digital tools, online resources, and interactive platforms, it allows students to learn on their own pace and access information beyond the classroom. However, both models also present challenges. Traditional learning may limit flexibility and innovation, while blended learning requires reliable technology, internet, student self discipline, so these limitations highlight that neither approach is perfect when used in isolation. The key takeaway from this discussion is that blended learning should not replace traditional learning entirely. Instead, the most effective education approach is a thoughtful integration of both models. By combining both, the human connection of traditional classrooms with the flexibility of digital learning, educators can create a balanced and inclusive learning experience. As education continues to evolve in Malaysia and globally, institutions must invest in teacher training, technology infrastructure, and policies that support this balanced integration. Ultimately, the goal is not to choose between traditional or new, but to design a learning environment that best supports students' success in an ever-changing world. And thank you, my fellow colleagues. It has been a pretty good discussion, I would say. And once again, thank you. It's been good. See you. Bye bye.